Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Rehan with the Garmin Outdoor Recreation Department. Thank you for joining us, Rehan.
Fred, thanks so much for having me.
And it sounds like we might be talking about playground gear or something, but we're not. We're talking about wearables. And you've got some great new ones coming out. Give us a little overview. It's not just one new model that Garmin has announced here.
No, so we recently just announced a number of different new solar wearables. So we've kind of significantly expanded that, and just a little bit of a background for you. August 29, 2019, Garmin launched its first solar wearable called the Garmin Fenix 6X Pro Solar. And then after that, we had a Aquatics that launched earlier this year, which is a marine-based watch. But then with this launch, quite a few of them, and we're expanding it into some of our most popular outdoor adventure watch series, which includes the Instinct, the Fenix 6 and 6S, and also the Tactics Delta line. And within that, there's a number of different additions for each one of them, but all of them surround the idea of solar and doing what you love longer. That's kind of the campaign line for it, and I think that just hits the nail on the head with that one.
Tell us about the value of solar with watches like these, because they have some connectivity too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're all smartwatch and really robust with their capabilities, from multi-sport, from health tracking, from sleep tracking, to pretty much everything you need. But one of the things that you always look at a smartwatch is the battery life, right? And Garmin has always prided itself on having very robust battery life, but with the development of solar, it really takes that to a new level. There's the idea of charge fatigue, right? Every time you don't have your watch on your wrist, you're having to plug it in and recharge it, and we're trying to avoid that. And through a lot of hard work from our engineering team and everybody here at Garmin, there's been some really significant gains within the solar line. Specifically, I mentioned the Instinct line. The Instinct was launched in 2018, and it's become a really popular watch. It's really rugged. It's an outdoor adventure watch. And with that, it's a lower-powered platform than, say, the Fenix. And with that, with the solar, you're seeing pretty significant gains, as I mentioned, including one feature that actually has an unlimited battery mode, Fred. So in battery saver mode, when you're getting the proper amount of solar exposure, you'd never have to plug in your watch. But outside of that, even in smartwatch mode, so with the connectivity you expect from a watch like Garmin, you're still getting over 24 days in smartwatch mode indoors, and then over 50 days with solar charging. So really incredible when you think about it, that with that proper solar exposure, you're not having to charge your watch traditionally for 2 months, essentially.
Very often it's the GPS capabilities in a watch that drain the batteries quickly. Tell us about how you're dealing with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the Instinct, Fenix, and Tactics, there's Power Manager mode. There's different battery modes. And for example, you can, as I mentioned, in the battery saver mode, where you get with the Instinct, where you get unlimited battery, that's really pulling down a lot of the functionality so that it's turning it more into a timepiece. So it's going to be giving you the time and the date. And then as you go up, in Expedition mode will drop GPS points at a certain time, and then also in smartwatch. And you can customize all of those things through the Power Manager. And that's one of the really unique things about all these Garmin watches, is the ability to customize your battery life for the functions that you really find valuable or that you really want, and you have the ability to extend your battery life based on that customization. But you're exactly right in that GPS, every time that you're dropping a pin on it, it is eating battery life from that. But that's the customization aspect of it allows you to kind of build it to what you want.
And what about things like the smartphone notifications and things like that you're tied in with here?
Yep. So you're with the smartwatch notifications, obviously you can tie in and get the notifications you want. If you're looking to increase your battery life, you can turn those notifications off so that you're, again, just gaining more of the battery life within that.
And obviously, Garmin pays a lot of attention to style here. For the most part, these are pretty rugged-looking, rugged-styled watches.
Yeah, they're a rugged watch, But I think the aesthetic quality of them are just fantastic. People ask me about it all the time, and I say, well, you look at these different watches, especially the Phoenix. The Phoenix is our flagship, GPS outdoor smartwatch, adventure watch. And what I was going to say is it's just at home on the side of a mountain as it is in a boardroom. So you can go from all your outdoor activities to an office meeting, and that watch can do everything you need it to do, and it also looks good doing it.
Tell us about some of the other differences. You mentioned the Phoenix line. Let's work our way down here to some of the other models.
Yeah, sure. So the Phoenix line. So I guess I'm going to back up a little bit. And as I mentioned, there's different editions. And so real quick, I can give you a rundown here. Within the Instinct, there's Instinct Solar, which is building on the Instinct line. Within this launch, we also launched the Instinct Solar Surf Edition. So those who enjoy surfing, that's a surf-specific edition that has activities that are built in so that you can track your surfing, the number of waves, longest wave, distance, etc. You've got tide data, and then really a unique feature that is on both the Instinct Surf and the Phoenixes. You have the ability to, through a collaboration with Surfline, which is a surfing company, if you're in front of a Surfline camera, you have the ability to later watch your surf activity based on what's called Surfline sessions. So that's kind of one of the new aspects of the Instinct. There's also Instinct Tactical Solar, which is popular with military personnel. And then when we start getting into the Phoenix line, as I mentioned, it's kind of the flagship outdoor GPS line for smartwatch for Garmin. And it has some more robust capabilities than the Instinct. For example, it has on-screen color mapping, has Garmin Pay, it has music within it. Really, it's the most robust outdoor watch you'd be able to find anywhere. And then also and that comes with the Phoenix 6S, which is a 42 millimeter bezel. So for individuals who have a smaller wrist, that's a popular unit. And then also the Phoenix 6, which is, I think it's 45, I need to confirm that for you, millimeter bezel, and then the Phoenix 6X Pro Solar. So that's kind of, and then we also have the Tactics Delta line, which is, again, one that's popular with military personnel. But backing up again, within the Phoenix, in addition to this surf activity, there's also a new mountain bike dynamic. So those who enjoy mountain biking, you can actually measure your trail difficulty and actually how smoothly you're descending. And so it's going to give you a score from 1 to 100 to beat next time. Then we're adding in to the Phoenix line the indoor climb. So climbers can track their sessions at indoor facilities, and they'll be able to see the number of routes, the vertical distance climbed, the climbing time, and also the difficulty of the routes. And this all builds on, I should say, all of these watches are building on their family's predecessor. So all of them have incredibly robust functionality. So, for example, Phoenix out of the box, the Phoenix 6 it's ready for pretty much any outdoor adventure. It's got 2,000 ski resorts, worldwide maps, 41,000 golf courses. As I mentioned, Garmin Pay, you can have up to 2,000 songs on it, and really robust health tracking features as well within that.
Terrific. So it'll pair with a Bluetooth headset, so you don't have to have your phone along to be listening to music?
That's right. So you can listen just Bluetooth in right off of your watch there and listen to either Spotify, Deezer, or other platforms.
Really terrific stuff. And the key here that sets Garmin apart, even before the solar editions, has been the number of days you can go without having to put the watch on a charger. And you're making that even better with this, right?
That's correct. As I kind of mentioned, there's that idea of charge fatigue, and so being able to extend that battery life is really one of the goals. Is always to have these watches be a companion. One of the things that I find really incredible is the people and those people where they take these watches and their passions, and so having it be a companion, not having to worry about your battery life, really helps those individuals focus on their what their passions are.
Tell us about the market today for watches. Beyond the pandemic, even a lot of young people have been relying on their phones, pretty much, I suppose, to tell them the time of day, etc. Tell us what the market looks like.
Well, it's I would speak for the market within Garmin, and I think that as I kind of touched on, one of the things that I find really incredible are the people who choose Garmin, are the people who are incredibly passionate about what they do. Outdoor lifestyles, specifically within these our outdoor smartwatch, uh, you know, section here. But yeah, they're outdoors people. They love being outdoors. They follow their passion, and they're really kind of interested in some of that technology that we can provide. If you look at Instinct, it's got, as I mentioned, Power Manager, all the different preloaded sports apps. So surfing, swimming, running, biking, hiking, rowing, strength and everything like that. Like you can record all of those activities. You can see them in Garmin Connect, which is the app platform. It's got wrist-based heart rate, pulse ox, stress tracking, body battery, energy monitoring. So it's really people who want to fine-tune into these different metrics and see and learn more about what they do and how they're performing within it.
And lots of customization options, too, using the app, right?
Absolutely. So, it's one of the things that, again, going back to, it's like, I think, everybody relates to a Garmin watch in a different way. I spend a lot of my time outdoors, and I use it. I use both the Phoenix and Instinct. People always ask me, Fred, like, which of these watches would you, do you recommend? And I say, they're kind of like my kids. I love them both equally, but for different reasons, So it's really what you love doing. There's a Garmin watch for you. For me, I really enjoy how these watches work within the Garmin ecosystem. So I spend a lot of my time in the backcountry or just out, off gravel roads, I should say. And having the ability to connect into the ecosystem, for example, with Garmin InReach, which is a two-way SMS communication device, pair that into the watch. I go hiking with my dog a lot and being able to track her always. So it's what you love doing. As I mentioned, there's something for you within that. And it really does become a companion piece for you the more you use it.
Where does pricing start?
So on the Instinct line, it's going to start at $399.99. It goes up from there depending on which model. So the Surf Edition is going to be $449. The Phoenix is going to start at $849.99, and the Tactics is going to start at $1,099.
And for more info, folks can go to Garmin.com, Garmin.com. Rehan Nana, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Fred, thanks so much for having me.
Cooking with the power of the sun. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, here to tell you about the latest innovation from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. The GoSun Fusion has arrived using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. A really bright idea. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere, day or night, rain or shine. I love what Patrick and his team are doing, and so will you. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co to check out all of the company's products and innovations and use the code Techstination to save 10%. That's gosun.co.